All right. Hello, everyone, or should I say good evening. This is our Book Lovers Club tribe. And the book today that we are discussing is Wrath by Victoria Christopher Murray. Now, she is one of my favorite authors because my favorite genre is urban Christian fiction. And I'm going to talk about my my book club that I've had for a while, even before Friendship Mixers. But before I do that, the very that we like to start with here at Friendship Mixers for our tribe meetings is a little bit more about our organization. So what I'm going to do is play a brief video about what Friendship Mixers is all about. And here it is. Okay, and then we'll get into more about the book. Hello, ladies. I'm Kiki Strickland, the founder of Friendship Mixers. Thank you so much for attending this event. I wanted to just share a few quick things with you while you're here. We are a women's organization that promotes healthy female friendships. And we are very multicultural. We're in several cities, including these: New York City, Charlotte, Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Maryland, Northern Virginia, Atlanta, Philadelphia, and Boston, soon to be in the following cities: Miami and Fort Lauderdale, Raleigh, Durham, Houston and Dallas, Chicago. We will eventually be on the West Coast, and also London and South Africa. We have several tribes, including these here that you can see. We're looking for leaders of some of these tribes. Please check out our website at friendshipmixers.com to get more involved with us. We would like for you to become a member if you like our group, if you feel comfortable here, and if you feel like we're a fit for you, then please consider becoming an official member and joining us on our private members only platform. So looking forward to having you join us and enjoy the rest of the event. Okay, so that is a little bit about our organization, Friendship Mixers. And as I said in that video, membership is open. So go to friendshipmixers.com to find out more. All right, so I was talking about my urban Christian fiction book club even before I started Friendship Mixers. And I made a little website back in the day. It's really old. Oh my gosh. Let me, I did it through Wix. So let me just show you, because I have some books that we're going to be doing in the near future. So this is the website, Kiki's Book Club. Look, it says founded in 2017. So that's how long it's been around. I haven't updated this particular website since January of this year. And it tells a little bit about our book club and some of the books that we will be reading. Joy by Victoria Christopher Murray is another one that we're going to read. And I'm about to talk a little bit more about her 7 Deadly Sins series in just a moment. But I wanted to give you an idea of some of the other books. Again, this is urban Christian fiction as the genre. Keeping Misery Company by Michelle Larks. And there's a description here. So when you go to this website of mine, you'll see a little bit about what the book's about. Acts of Betrayal by Tracy Lovelace Hill. There's also Strongholds by Vanessa Davis Griggs. Now, again, all of these have a faith element in it or a Christian element. Sometimes the person will actually lead someone to the Lord during the course of the book. But I just like that they're all clean. You're not going to have any crazy stuff in it. Here's one by Tiffany Warren, The Pastor's Husband. I believe Tiffany, just like Victoria Christopher Murray, now has some of her books being made into movies on BET or Lifetime. So that one's called The Pastor's Husband. Secrets and Lies by Rhonda McKnight is another one. And then this next one, Redeeming Love by Francine Rivers, is actually not urban, but it is Christian fiction. And it's a modern take on, not so modern because it's supposed to be the 1850s, on the story of Hosea and Gomer. So, and it's really good. I hope they make that one into a movie. Okay, so that's just a little bit about our urban Christian fiction book club. All right, so we have several different tribes in Friendship Mixers, and this is just one of the book clubs, and that we will have other book clubs because I know not everybody wants to be a part of the urban Christian fiction book club. So we will have other genres. We will probably have several book clubs going at one time, as long as someone steps up to lead it, because I cannot lead them all. So I'm leading this one. And if you like another genre, like my second favorite genre is actually psychological thrillers. And I love legal thrillers like John Grisham. So if someone wants to start one of those for Friendship Mixers, I will come to it and read the book. Some of you like nonfiction, maybe biographies. That's great. We can have 5 different book clubs going at one time, as long as somebody's going to lead it. All right, so let's get into the book. So I wanted to show you, here we go. Let me share my screen. I'm doing a lot of sharing of my screen today. Here's what we read. Wrath, and that is one of the Subtly Deadly Sins series by Victoria Christopher Murray. Here is the Amazon.com page for it. You can also see above here that she has Lust. That was the first one. Envy was the second of the series. Greed, which I also read. I guess I read all 4 of these. And then Wrath was actually number 4. Lust and Envy have been made into Lifetime movies. And I want to show you the trailer for that. So that way, if you have not seen it, you can check it out. Here is the Lifetime movie trailer for Victoria Christopher Murray's Envy.
Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit.
April 17th.
I can't believe I have a sister. Me neither.
From executive producer T.D. Jakes.
I don't trust her.
I know I may have just met her, but she's my sister.
An all-new chapter in the 7 Deadly Sins story.
Y'all must be rolling in it.
Envy.
I found her in the closet trying on clothes.
What?
She wants to be you.
Go and take what's mine. Get a taste of that hot life.
Soraya. Candy Burris. Rose Rollins.
Oh, baby girl, if you want, you can call me mommy.
When you envy your sister,
My 2 beautiful daughters.
be careful what you pray for.
I am your wife. How could you? Open this door.
Amen, somebody. Come on, somebody. Come on, somebody. Come on, somebody.
Envy. A 7 Deadly Sins story. Premieres Saturday, April 17th. Only on Lifetime.
Only on Lifetime. So Lifetime is making a lot of African American stories into movies, which I love. And so she has 4 in this series. I believe there might be 5, but that was Envy. And then Lifetime also did Lust. Let's take a look at the trailer for that one. I'm just so excited that so many of our authors are now making movies. This is a great thing.
Walk in the Spirit, and you will not give way to the desires of the flesh.
Can I come in?
From executive producer T.D. Jakes.
Tomorrow, you marry the man that you love.
It's gonna take us to the next level, right?
The first chapter in the 7 Deadly Sins story.
Do not believe a word that this man is telling.
You watch out for the devil because he will be on the hunt.
So when's the big day?
I've been thinking about you.
So is God punishing me? Sometimes I think we got together for the wrong reasons.
An all-new Lifetime original movie.
I am about to screw everything up.
Tobias Truvillion, Carrie Hilson, Darrell Tank Babs. Lust, a 7 Deadly Sins story. Premieres Saturday, April 10th. Only on Lifetime.
So it looks like both of these were during April. so, so that's great. I actually don't have Lifetime at the moment, but I was able to watch both of these movies on YouTube. So if you wait a while, somebody puts it there, thankfully. But again, I'm just tickled pink that we are having more movies made about us, by us. You saw that T.D. Jakes was the producer of that one. And again, it's because Victoria Christopher Murray's books have that element of faith in it. In fact, in Lust, I believe they were not sleeping together. And then this guy came who she was very attracted to, and she did not end up sleeping with him too. And I was so glad because it was all leading up to that, but she resisted temptation. She did not do it. And so anyway, it just they cover different things that we deal with. Of course, some of them are really over the top because that's, the more drama, the more that it sells. But it's entertaining and it's clean, no curse words, all of that. So I love it. And I'm just so happy that we are seeing more and more and more make it to the screen. All right, so let's get into Wrath. Now, this one was a surprise for me. And I want to hear from you guys. And I have questions. I was taking notes as I went along. So I have 2 pages of questions to go over. But let me read the description of Wrath. So those of you that are here that may not have read the book will know exactly what it's about. And I'll let you see what I'm reading. Hold on. I could read from the back cover, but I will allow you to see what I'm reading. All right. It says, the award-winning author of The Personal Librarian, which I believe might also be made into a movie. And I believe that just came out, the book itself. The award-winning author of The Personal Librarian, Lust, Envy, and Greed delivers an unforgettable story of a marriage caught at the crossroads of passion and rage. So it says Chastity Jeffries and Xavier King come from very different backgrounds, though they have one thing in common. They both are living with family secrets. Chastity is the only child of a prominent pastor and has been raised with privilege, but her father's testimony as a philanderer and her mom's role as a dutiful wife have tainted her view of love. Xavier never knew his father, and his mother abandoned him. His grandmother raised him in a household built on cruelty and violence instead of love and acceptance, instilling in him a fear of abandonment and an enormous sense of insecurity. Sparks fly when Chastity and Xavier meet, and their whirlwind romance feels almost too good to be true. Chastity is swept off her feet, but before long, cracks begin to show in Xavier's perfect facade. And it is only a matter of time before that facade comes crumbling down. When Xavier's wrath erupts at a level chastity has never seen, who will it destroy forever? So that is the description of the book. And I must say, it was a wild ride. And I have some experience with a whirlwind when romance that just goes so fast. I know how that can be and how the person seems so perfect for you, especially if you've just come out of something that wasn't working for you. And, the person is moving fast and trying to wrap everything up, trying to lock you down, as they say. So yeah, when I was reading this, some of it was looking a little familiar. But let me go over the questions. And I know some of you don't want to be on camera. So what I'm going to do is read the questions that I came up with, and then I will stop the video so that we can discuss it. But for those of you that may be watching this later, I wanted you to get the questions, because if you're going to read it or if you read it, then you can answer the questions for yourself. Or you can send me an email with your answers. I would love to hear your thoughts on these things. All right. Do you think at that second date in the park, so their very second date, because they met while she was out at a celebration, and then they had a date. But this was the second date at the park, and they did a little ride on a carriage ride through the park, Central Park, because this was New York. Do you think that Xavier knew that telling his story about his background would make Chastity want to nurture and help him? Because he told her about how his grandmother had been so hard on him and so evil. And we as women are nurturers. So I wonder if he knew that that was going to make her feel sorry for him. So my question was, do you think that was a calculated move on his part to tell her all about his childhood? And maybe it wasn't. I mean, I'm asking, what do you think? Because usually in the course of dating, you do reveal things about your past and how you grew up. So it might not have been calculated. What do you think? Have you ever moved too fast in a relationship? And what was the result? So I just said I've been guilty of that, where everything was moving along really, really fast. And you feel like you've known the person a lot longer than you actually have. I remember I got engaged within 6 months. He asked me, I think at the 5-month mark, to marry him. All right, when Xavier met Chastity's parents at the church for the first time, did that surprise you? The pastor gripped his hand really hard, like he was trying to send him a message. I wasn't sure that pastors really did that kind of thing. Were you surprised that Xavier suddenly decided that day that he wanted to be a part of their family? What did you think about that? He wanted to have the pastor as a father-in-law, as a dad to him. At the family dinner, the pastor said to Chastity about Xavier, pray about it. He said, you know how to pray. You know how to hear God's voice. Ask him for guidance and discernment. And I wanted to ask you all, is that something that you do when it comes to love interests? Do you actually seek the Lord for guidance and discernment? Do you ask the Lord about his opinion of this person? Have you ever heard God on one of your love interests? And I could say, yes, I heard no on 2 different guys. One in college, a guy that I was very close to, and I felt like he was my best friend. And he told me that he wanted more. And I felt like the Lord gave me a very clear sign that the answer was no on that. And then more recently, I felt like I heard the Lord say no on 2 different people that I was considering. But yeah, he will speak to you, definitely. On page 149, the pastor said, If I had been a better husband, I would have been a better father. And I wanted to get your thoughts on that. Do you think that that's true? That the relationship between a husband and wife affects the children? If he had been better to his wife, his relationship with Chastity would have probably been a lot better because they were estranged, and Chastity really didn't want to see him or talk to him for several years. But I thought that was a very profound statement, that if he had been a better husband, he would have been a better father. That would have made him a better father, because the way that we see our father treat our mother definitely affects us. So I would love to delve more into that. When I hear from you all, I definitely want to hear your opinion on that. All right, Bryce, what did you think about the friend, Bryce? Xavier's guy friend, Bryce, suggested counseling before they even went to New Orleans. And what did you think? I thought Bryce was great as a friend. He was definitely telling him about himself and trying to get him to see how bad his anger problem was. Have you ever told someone that they needed counseling or therapy? And how did they take it? If so, sometimes our friends probably don't want to hear from us, but we are the ones that see the most, and they tell us things, and we're able to like be a mirror to them and say, do you realize what you just said there? All right, a few more. After the first incident, when he hit the wall, would you have stayed? Would you have told someone about him hitting the wall? When Chastity decided to stay after the second incident, when Chastity decided to stay after that first incident of him hitting the wall, did you decide that you wanted their relationship to work? Or did you want him to fail? What were you thinking at that point? Did you feel any compassion for Xavier? Chastity believed it was her purpose to help Xavier. Do you believe that it is our purpose as women to help our husbands? Like a real helpmate? Do you really feel in this day and age that we are to be a helpmate to our husbands? What did you think about the ending? What signs from the very beginning did you see that were red flags in her and in him? Did you see yourself in Chastity at all? Did you see any parts of her in that you had done before, said before, any behaviors that you had acted out before? Melanie, her friend, her best friend, asked her to check in with her every 30 minutes after she found out about Xavier's behavior. What did you think about that? And have you ever feared for a friend's safety? So that was my last question. And I really want to hear from you all now. So I'm going to stop the recording and let's chat about it. And those of you that are watching this later, if you want to get in on commenting on this, then you can email me at hello@friendshipmixers.com. So we can discuss it, because you might be listening to this at a different time and you might want to weigh in, and I would be happy to hear your opinion of these questions. All right, so let's get into the discussion. And for those of you listening now, talk to you soon.